Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another Wednesday night of Touching Eternity, the podcast.
Good evening, friends. We are getting into our spooky season and our spooky feels this evening.
Yes, we are. So tonight is going to all be about ghost hunting and ghost hunting adventures. So it is that Halloween time, and so we're going to wait for some people to join us. So we're going to talk a little bit about some fun things that are going on and let people know some things. So the only thing we have really coming up soon is going to be the dowsing class with George at the Mystique, which is at 1708 Lake Avenue. You can find that class on my website, sid-patrick.com. It is going to be 125. It's going to be November the 23rd, and that will be an 8-hour class. It is in 2 parts. You must finish part 1 and pass to go to part 2. It is a pendulum class teaching you how to properly dowse with your pendulum, and there'll be charts and graphs and all kinds of wonderful things. We've already had several people sign up.
I'm looking forward to that.
So it is really going to be a great class to join us for. George is a wonderful man. Please go read his bio. It is on my website. I'm really looking forward to having him, having him there and bringing him in. Like I said, he's tried to come in like 4 times, but the hurricanes seem to follow him every other previous time. But this time we moved him out of hurricane season.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't want to have to send him
Yes.
away. You're not getting any premonitions about
No,
anything.
we moved him this time.
Okay. As we say, this is the light. Do you see that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Speaking of hauntings,
Yes.
we are now having a freaky light situation. Let's see. Oh, wow.
Should we focus our energies
Let me see if
on
I can
it
fix the light.
to fix it? Hmm.
Undo it and just say it's out. I don't
Yeah.
want any more flashing light.
Yeah, I didn't bring any club music to get them.
Wow.
That starts early. This is
Yes.
par for the course. With
Yes.
us, you know.
We're having ghost hunting, and the light starts freaking out. Okay.
It happens.
So as we get a few people to join us tonight, and I gotta pull that up so I can watch it. So that, let's see here. Let me see if I can do this.
We are not technically
There we go.
advanced. Okay, there we are.
There we are. So again, we have 5 people watching. So again, folks, this is just us getting started and warmed up. We're going to, like I said, tonight we're going to talk a lot about ghost hunting, and I'm going to talk about, we had an event last Friday at the Battlefield Bar, which was actually next door to, which is a little place called Gabby's. It's all the same establishment, but they had some activity, and we did some ghost hunting classes. Dina Lally, Misty Gaither, and myself did some teaching. Hey, Deidre, how you doing, love? So we were able to do some teaching, and after the teaching we had everybody go out and just feel the area. And they did, and they found where the location was, and then they started sensing, and they all came back with a story, and everybody got it right. There was actually 2 things, and nobody like compared notes, and so there was 2 incidents. One incident we were able to validate with a family.
Oh,
And
wow.
the second incident, how it was validated, was everybody gave the exact same story. and they
Okay,
didn't
I
know
love it when that happens,
So
because
they
that
gave-
really kind of strengthens it.
Right. They gave the
Yes.
exact same story, so we know it was real because they gave us the exact same information. Hey, Denise. Hey, Paul. Hey, Gwen. So that was really, really interesting. So, like I said, I think I taught on ghost equipment. We had the little teddy bear for like it picks up.
I want to see this
it
teddy
pick-
bear.
It picks up the kids.
Okay.
So the little teddy bear, and we had a kid there because the teddy bear, like I said, the whole way to the event, And in the beginning, the teddy bear did nothing. All of a sudden, the teddy bear just started talking like most of the night. So
We need to bring the teddy bear on next week's podcast because in my mind I'm picturing Teddy Ruxpin, but like
it's kind of, it looks like
yeah,
this a little bit.
like,
He
but
talks
like
to you.
the world's most haunted Teddy
Yes.
Ruxpin.
So he talks to you, especially if there's a child spirit around.
Mhm.
He'll talk to the spirit. He'll talk to you and talk to the spirit. So
Now,
it's really cool.
have you brought haunted Teddy Ruxpins to other places?
Oh yeah, we took. Oh yeah, we've taken. I did a. I guess I can say. Remember, well, it's not in business no more. So I'll use the old business name rather than the current business name. So remember the old Ember Steakhouse in the French Quarter? It's called something else now. I don't want to use the new name, but
It changes locations pretty frequently.
right.
That,
Well,
yeah.
we did a ghost hunt there, and we took the teddy bear there, and so I was able to talk to a child and the child's mother through the teddy bear.
Oh, nice.
And we were actually able to validate the existence of those people have actually being there.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool. And so yes, we have used the teddy bear in other locations as well. So we had that. We had an EMF detector. We had the spotlight thing where your light it does the grid through the room.
Mhm.
We had a couple other cool. We had some pendulums and dowsing rods, and we taught everybody to use those.
Apps.
Dally taught Dina. Lolly taught Dally. Lolly brought the stuff. Dina taught Dally. Dina taught how to use the pendulum, and Misty talked all about the how to do an investigation. So it was really cool, and so everyone was able to pick it up. And so basically, what had happened there, a young lady had died there in the bar, and everyone was able to tell. I don't want to talk too much about how she passed because everybody knows where it's at, and I don't want to out the family or anything.
I gotcha.
So, but the young lady died in the bar, and they were able to give us how she died, how she was dressed, what happened right before she died, and so it was.
That's
so
pretty incredible.
It was really cool
to get everyone
Yes.
sane and seeing the
Yes.
same thing. Was what is that called?
I was even able to get what she was wearing and everything else. So
Wow.
it was really cool. I
Collective.
didn't even know anything.
Well, that you didn't. Did anyone physically see her?
Like with their eyes,
Yeah.
they could feel it. Like the
yes.
minute you
Because
hit
you know
where
how
she
that
was,
is
you could
when you
feel
can,
it.
yeah, when you can sense and kind of see everything. So,
You could feel her.
um,
I could see her in my third eye, but I mean,
Yeah.
because it was in my eyes, no. But I could see her in my third eye because I was able to tell you what she was wearing. I could tell you what she was feeling. I could tell you exactly what she felt. People were able to tell you what happened right before she passed away.
that's
And
the
the family was able to validate everything for us.
Mhm. When you can go back and see what happened right before. That's really powerful.
So that was really really cool. And so and the other one was a guy, and he was a cook, and they could all feel like the room was rocking, but they were in it because he was a ship's cook, and he
Oh,
worked there,
wow.
so and he had a
Yes.
clear, and he could hear and he could see and all of them felt the same thing, and none of them had spoken together. So what they all said, and they described it and said the same thing.
I've heard the term collective
Yes,
apparition,
yes.
but it's not, but because it wasn't visual. So how would you say that then would you use collective apparition?
Well, it was collective information.
collective
so,
information,
Right, so
okay.
yes, I mean they all had the same feel, the same. They described him as the same, and none of them had spoken together. And they all said that he was in the same location. They all felt the same swaying back and forth.
Yes.
So, and again, it all made sense because the river's right there. I mean, this
Mhm.
was a big kitchen that they were in at one time. It wasn't at this moment, but at one time it had been a big kitchen. So and so nobody knew that, and so that was really good evidence. And so and people didn't know it, and it was really good. And we had somebody there who lived in the area, and they were able to give us the history of the land before the bar was ever there. So it was like plantations and fields and stuff. It was right there by the battlefield. So
Yes.
we were right like 1 block away from the restaurant we ate at when y'all went to the battlefield
Mhm.
for our class, for that
Yes.
psychic investigation class. So that was really cool as well. So it was really good. I mean, every person hit it. So it was good.
That's
They either got
nice.
one or the other or both.
And were there some new people that were new to?
Oh yeah, because
Okay.
people had never done this before, and they were doing good. But then again, they took the classes and they
Mhm.
applied what they got in the class. and they were able to get the information. So, and I didn't even know it because, like, I went and felt, and I was able to get information and give it. So, because we called the family after everybody did it. Then we called the family of the person who had passed there and got the validations. So
I'm
that was
trying to
really
remember
cool.
what I did Friday night and why I wasn't there, and then I remember I was at a vampire party.
Yes,
So,
you were at the vampire
yes.
party. So tell us about the vampire
The
party.
vampire party was wonderful.
Okay.
There's this artist in the French Quarter. I will give him a shout out, Tanner Galleries. I absolutely love his work. He paints upside down, which I think is just really amazing.
Look at that.
Exactly. But is able to portray gravity with trees. He does a lot of trees in nature and bayou style prints. They're beautiful. I love art when it makes you feel something and when you can keep looking at it. So it's very evocative art, and he does a Halloween party every year. And this one, it was vampire themed, his new location. And so I went out with my girls as always, and we go in a full force and dress up, and we had a lovely time. Went to a couple different bars. There's apparently a new witch bar in New Orleans, that specializes in
Special drinks.
special
Apothecary?
drinks. No, not apothecary. It was Taltos.
Okay.
And they specialize in various foods too. That it says like, oh, this is good to eat this to protect against like bad energies or something like that. I just know I really like the noodles after several glasses of champagne.
Okay.
They were protecting me against a hangover.
Okay.
Yes. So they serve
Yes.
their purpose.
Let's go with the apron. Yes, everybody mentioned the apron. That's right. Teresa's in here. So Teresa's the manager of the bar we were in. So
It is Teacher
Yes.
Asthor's the witch bar. It is in the back of the old Absinthe House on Bourbon Street. It's a really good time. There's a wait, and yeah, we should check that out.
okay.
We haven't Bourbon Street hauntings. I mean, well, they probably gain a number by the day as we're nearing the 8 o'clock hour to discuss
Right.
ghost
So
hauntings.
has the vampire bar started allowing any of the public in, or do you still have to have a special pass to go in?
And you still have to have a special pass to
That's
go
what I
in.
thought. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know I've been in a couple times,
Mhm.
and you do need a special pass to go to the vampire bar that's in the corner.
Yes.
We can't tell you where it's at.
No,
it's very secret.
And take away its speakeasy feel,
Yes.
but it's fun. I
I
love
notice
the
on TikTok,
decoration.
everybody talks about it. They always show you the wrong place. I know it's like
Yes,
that's
it's
not
good.
it.
That's a
the
good
I keep texting them,
point.
that's not it. Getting warmer. I always
Yes.
text the y'all getting warmer, but that's not
Yes.
it. This is the real vamp. No, it's not.
Mhm.
No, it's not. You're getting warmer.
Yes, and
But-
and I always get the question. This is a random. I'm gonna throw out to you. Do you believe in vampires?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't mean just like the energy vampires. I mean like real vampires, blood sucking, live forever, eternally youthful, or vampires.
So not like you would see in a movie now.
Yeah.
So no, not like you see in the movie. Do I think they have them like they do in the movies? No. Do I think they do have vampires? Yes, because you got to remember where I work.
I know. That's why I'm saying
So
you got to remember I'm divorced. I know.
You remember where I work. So, kind of, yeah. I mean, I know they have, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
But do I think it's like they're on the movies? No.
Because I get that question because we get so many tourists this time of year too, because of us being such a lovely city for Halloween, and I get that question a lot. When I used to work at Pirates Alley and would be surrounded by tourists every day, I would always get do you believe in vampires? Do you think that they're really out there? And so, it depended on my mood that day. Sometimes I would play into it like, oh yes, there's a mysterious bar because I had heard rumors about a mysterious bar on
What do
Iberville.
you think happened to those reporters that went to the Ursuline convent?
I know what you're gonna- I know
and
you're gonna
looked
go
up at the window and they found him with their throat slashed. So what do you think? So what do you think? What do you think about? Do you think? What do you think about? Do you think that was just a coincidence or somebody?
I don't believe in coincidences.
I know. So that happened because
That
we
did
know
happen.
that did happen.
We know that did happen, and also you medically, so they went in through their back to get their blood, which is the fastest way to get fresh blood. So it's certainly
Well, oxygenated blood because the lungs are in the back. But anyway, I'm just saying.
just throw some medical at me. That certainly leads to some interesting questions.
Roseanne Barr will say anything.
It's the placement of them was weird. How it mimicked the angels. That's one of the creepier stories in the corridor, I think, for sure. And then if you read the Roman, it's Latin, not Roman. Sorry,
It's Latin.
Yeah, it's Latin. I did go to college.
Yes, you did.
It says, I believe it says, this is the way to heaven, or this is the door to heaven and the way to God, which I think is kind of weird. And then it has the two dead women were laid right in front of it. That is, it takes a lot to scare me. And that and the convent are probably the two creepiest places in the quarter to me, because there's something going on, but it's probably also because it involves the Catholic Church, and anytime the Catholic Church gets involved, it gets creepy.
So let me tell you a cute little story. So at one point we created this group that we were going to throw this big event, and to raise money, we were going to do plays, and one of the big plays that we were going to do was a comedy called The Casket Girls. And instead of the Casket Girls, how we were doing it was we were making a mimic over, what is the movie called? Or the song called? It's the it's the one. No, it's a musical. It's it has the girls in the long dresses with the three shoes in the front, and it's oh God, what's the name of the movie? It's the something girls. And anyway, Magni designed it. He called it was the Casket Girl, but it had that same photo with the girls, but it was like one had like a hippie foot and one had like a crazy. We had like three different things. I'll have to show it to you.
Okay, yeah,
it's really cool.
Yes,
and I really wish we would have finished it, because the concept of it was really cool, because we made it like a comedy.
I didn't know Magni was into that.
Magni's an artist.
Okay, so I can't reveal this.
What is the name of that play? The Broadway play. It's called
Not Les Mis.
No. It's a musical.
It's a musical.
And it's a musical, and it's I can't think of it right now. Hello, beautiful souls. Yeah, we're safe. Yeah. No, not the Casket Girl. It's the one where she sings, and I'm telling you. No. It's more modern. Oh God.
Heathers? No.
It's the one that Jennifer
Chicago?
It's a black musical. And it's recent. And it's not recent, but it's Jennifer Holliday sang the lead song in it.
Oh, okay. I know where you're talking. Dreamgirls. Yes.
Instead of Dreamgirls, it was called Casket Girls.
I love that.
And
Okay.
Magni that was it. Instead of Dreamgirls, it was Casket Girls, and Magni did the cover just like their cover, except one was like a girl who had a hippie and had like a tattoo with the shoe, and then one was like a real seduction, one was like a leather chick, and like it was the casket. And we had this when we had the whole play written out. It was hysterical. We've never taken it to stage.
No, I have an idea of a play I want to write about.
I even have some of the nuns' costumes I just threw out of my closet. I still had some of the caskets, the purses. We actually had the caskets
that's really
and stuff.
Cute. Yeah, that's very marketable.
Oh yeah, no, you should see. It was great, and it was funny, and it was funny. Allie was a nun. You had to see it. Oh, anyway, for those of you who know Allie,
yes. She'd be a cute nun.
Yeah, she was a nun. Anyway, it was funny. It was a comedy, and it just. but again, when I'm going there, because we talked about the Ursuline Convent, that was part of the play, because we had done a little video before the play went on, and so before the play was supposed to start. But anyway, saying all that, the hotel right down the street, the haunted hotel.
Yes.
So I had done a investigation there. We're the ones that felt the energy of the Axeman there, and that's how. So, the Axeman. So we truly believe, and so we're trying to. We mentioned to the owner that they're going to try to go back and look at some records, see if they can figure out, because they don't know his name. But we actually came up with some dates for them to go back and look at.
That
to
would be
try
an
to
interesting
see.
one for us to do our psychic powers on
Well,
to see if we can get
We
any.
just I just went there with Misty Gaither a
Mhm.
couple months ago, and we had a group there. I'm just trying to feel. We had so many people there; it was hard to really sense it again. But I had gone there back like 4 years ago with Khalil, or 4 or 5 years ago. We were the ones that gave some of the history and could tell you where it was at.
Oh yeah. There's a picture. I've read a lot of Axman books,
Mhm.
and I'll have to find. It was an
For those of you
Instagram
that didn't know, the
page.
Axeman was a serial killer in the French Quarter of New Orleans
Great
back in the
story. Well,
1900s.
not a
Yes.
great story, but I mean some really sad stories that
Right.
came of it because
Right.
they there was a family, a father and a son, and I believe the father ended up dying in jail. So I mean, really sad stuff, but just the history and the documentation, how it was able to be documented, was really well done. And then there's been some theories that this was someone traveling by railroads, and because some started in Austin and then came up, and I've heard hypotheses that it is possibly connected to the Velisca axe murder house too. We don't
I
know.
don't know.
We don't know.
So anyway, we know that he stayed at this place for a given period of time, and we were able to narrow down the time frame. So we're trying to see if we could find records from some data, because you can go find records. There's a
Mhm.
place where those are kept for the French court. If we can find records, we might be able to find out how we at least logged in or signed in to this establishment.
Now, since I like to stay on topic, and the topic of tonight is ghost hunting and places. So when
Well,
you
that's what
were,
we're talking about.
that is what we're talking about. So when you were at that particular house,
Uh-huh.
what kind of energy were you feeling there?
So which time? The first time or the
First
second?
time.
First time I was there. So I kept, well, always when I'm doing any kind of serial killer stuff, I get a lot of nausea. That's
Mhm.
that's just a normal feel.
Yep.
Lots of nausea, lots of dry throat, lots of dry throat.
I get dizzy. That's
Um,
my thing.
I get a lot of, like, when I close my eyes, I'll get a lot of visual stuff. Like I'll see things like falling things, or they'll show me like where victims might have been. Like I'll see things like there's a tree in the back corner of that lot where we know either somebody was buried or something had happened
Mhm.
in that tree, because all of us kept being focused there. When we were there, that was a very high, and you can feel the energy shift, or you can feel the energy move, and those are where your ley lines are created. Now, I also believe that ley lines can be created by events or energies. Like if something really bad happens, that can also create an energetic line. It's not just
Huh.
Earth rotation or
Okay, I
or
thought it was
something.
only Earth rotation.
No.
All
Also,
right.
I think events can also cause energy shifts or energy lines. That house we went to that we talked about last week, with the family, that one area where that line was, that was definitely an energy shift because of geometric
Mm-hmm.
and the way the house. I think the way the house was built and how it was added on, I think created a geometric energy shift or change. I always tell people, if you're going to want to look for those energons, use your dowsing rod, use your pendulum, and see how they react. Go through, and you can feel the energy shift or change as you walk it. Sometimes your hair will stand up on your arm, on the back of your neck, or you just get a feel. You'll feel maybe the temperature change from just one or two steps this
Feel the
way
eyes on your
versus
back.
you'll feel,
Yeah,
right, or you'll feel
that's
things.
that's what I felt there.
I've done old hospitals and I've done old prisons. Yes, I've been in them. When I actually did I actually did an old prison in Dublin, Ireland, actually. And I've been in the old prison in England, and I've been in a few old prisons, and I've been to Angola, and I've been to, let's see, I've been to a few old prisons. So
We've been to a few old
hospitals.
hospitals.
I've been to a bunch of hospitals. I used to go to the morgue at Charity before it closed down,
Yeah.
because I used to be in the bar. And I know people know this, but when you used to do that, you'd have to park across the street from Charity, and then you take an elevator down underground, and you'd have to cross the street with your gurney and go behind the cafeteria, and that's where the morgue was.
There was I ended up in the morgue a couple times by accident, just trying to, when I first started working in medical stuff, to find my way in and out of Oshnar. And
Very
of
cool,
course,
Tina.
during COVID when, entrances and everything was like rerouted. I can't even tell you how many times I ended up in the morgue.
Ooh.
And I don't know, the energy down there I didn't pick up on too much
It's-
because
they're usually
they've
not.
already passed. They're not
Right.
hanging out with their
Right. They're not.
bodies a whole
They're
lot
already
of the
gone.
time.
The best place in hospitals to see activity, believe it or not, is radiology. That's the best place. If you want to really see lots of activity, hang around radiology because you got all those magnets, you got all that equipment, and all that extra energy
Mhm.
will definitely pull them. Does negative energy concern you? No.
Really. Charcoal baths, salts.
Well, no, but while I'm white, you can't do that while you're working.
Well, not yeah, but
So the thing is, while you're working, Lane. So just so um, when you vibrate high. So if you once you understand the concepts of energy, energy attracts. And so if you're negative, then negative comes to you. If you're having a bad day, it'll come to you. If you have, so you vibrate high. So usually if I feel something that's negative, I will pray three things: pray, sing, move. Raise your vibration, change your vibrational pattern. The energy goes right near you. Energy doesn't have eyes, nor does any negative evil spirit. They really don't have eyes. They have an energy signature or an energy pattern. So if you change your energy signature, they can't stick to you. They can't see you. They'll walk right by you. You're like in a big sea. They
or
can't.
your energy bubble. I'll do the energy bubble
Right,
sometimes
yes.
where you
Yeah.
call in your protectors and just wrap
Put
yourself
yourself in a
around.
cocoon
Yes.
of white light
Yeah.
with no barrier, with no, mirrored cocoon of light where nothing, there's no seamless cocoon of light. And
That's
just-
my favorite.
Boom.
Yes.
Seamless.
Time to go.
Yes, and just
if it's bad,
boom.
yes. Yeah.
So also too, before now this freaks people out a lot. People, especially people who are atheists, get really mad with me with this. But I usually will not let someone, if I know that I'm going to a place that has a very bad negative energy, I will not take anyone that's atheist with me. I do not take anyone who is atheist or like singing before a trance session, right? Help raise that vibration so that so anything negative walks right by you because you're vibrating high. It's an energetic thing. And usually if someone's atheist or doesn't have a faith, I usually won't take them to a place where I know there's something that's bad. Or if there's reports of something that's bad, if someone's atheist, I won't take them with me. And that makes some people mad, and it's just because from watching the one factor in every horror movie or every book that you ever read, the one common thing that you see is that the ones who get possessed are the ones who don't have any type of faith, or they've never given their energy soul to a higher faith.
Kind of like the whole, if you don't
Right.
believe in something, you may fall for anything.
So I always make sure that I always ask anyone when I know I'm going someplace that I'm dealing with something that's very negative, I will always ask that question. And I usually make people sign a waiver before I take them to someplace like that because I do go deal with some negative stuff, very negative. And so I always make sure that before I take them to a place where I know there's something that's detrimental. Like an example, I'll give you an example where I would never take a medium, or I would never take someone who's one of my students. I would never take him to the Warren Museum.
Where is that?
It's on the East Coast, but I would never take him to the Warren Museum. Lorraine Warren has a museum
Oh, yeah, okay.
with all the evil artifacts and
Yeah.
all the possessed artifacts. Why would you take a
Yes.
medium who's got an open chakra like this?
Yeah.
I would never take. Now you can go online and look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So go online and look at it, but I would never take you into the same room with that because you're too susceptible until
Yes.
you've learned how to protect yourself and to
I'm too empathic still
Right.
because I feel too much still. I'm still
exactly.
you're still my Sherpa.
Yes. So I would never take a medium student to like the Warren Museum. You can go online and look at it, and it will show you where the Annabelle doll is and all the other
I'll just watch
artifacts.
the movies until
But,
then.
But they got but
The guy who-
the movie doesn't have the
It-
real Annabelle
They
Bell
don't,
in it.
and that's fine.
So-
But the guy that plays Ed Warren is cute,
Okay,
so I like a blonde.
okay.
So,
you
yeah.
could do that.
Yes.
But yeah, I would definitely not take anyone, any medium or psychic to that museum for that reason.
Have you? Okay, so speaking of weird houses and places and hauntings, have you ever been in the Lollery House?
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that house. Yeah,
Yeah,
before,
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
millions of times.
I haven't been in that one yet. That's the
Yeah.
only haunted, like famous haunted house in the city I have not been in, and I know it's for sale right now. And
Well, maybe we should go
so
book a
I was
showing.
gonna say, realtors, if you want to engage with us. I haven't been there. No, I've been inside the Jacques Saint Germain house, and I felt nothing.
I was actually in. I don't. You know Jenny Lim, the opera singer.
No.
I was in her place that's in the Pentalbo. So
Oh, yeah.
I was in her place, and I actually got to dance with her in the Pentalbo during a seance one night. So that was kind of cool. So there are good memories. There are good spirits
Yes, there
too.
are good spirits.
Yes.
Muriel's, I was there a couple weeks ago, and I think it would be interesting to do a seance in the seance room, not to be too on point with that. But a lot of times I get very tired in that room though, because it's just very comforting to me. So I don't know if that ghost is kind of at peace or because there is so much movement in that restaurant at this point, he's resigned himself.
So I took one of my medium friends from Australia with me and Trini was signing a contract to do shows at Tableau, which is on the opposite corner
Yes.
from Muriel's.
Where La
And-
Petite Theatre is,
Right,
which
yes,
is also
yes, right next door. And so when we brought her up there, we went to their wine cellar because that's where they held our events. Was in the wine. Was actually the wine attic, and that's where they actually have the videos of all the wine bottles flying off the shelf on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and see it
I think
inside of
it's-
Tableau. And when we were up there, the medium from Australia was able to give them the name of the person who originally was the mayor of New Orleans and
Mhm.
like what happened. She was able to tell them what happened in that building, like it was the government building, and he was in charge of. And she was able to tell them that he signed the declaration for like garbage, like the first garbage dispenser. I mean, she was from Australia. She had no idea, but she was
Yes.
she connected to that spirit, was able to just keep going.
I love that.
So that was really cool.
That
was
fun.
really, really, really cool. So yeah, so every house is haunted. Yes, I did say that, Lane. And that's because as long as there's a living person in it, it's got spirits in it. Every house is haunted. Every house has someone in it that's deceased. As long as there's a living person in it, it's there. And every house has history. If it's empty, it has
Hasn't
history.
been built. There's still the grounds
Right, still the
too,
ground.
where people have been there before that.
That's true. It has history. New Orleans has a lot of history, between the yellow fever and the fires through the French Quarter, the two big fires and the yellow fever,
yeah.
and then the fact that we had so many wars and we're a port, we have all that military people that come from all over the world through there,
Mhm.
like Decatur Street was all like Greek, and then different countries that would come from off the ships and stuff and hang all in that area, and Russian and stuff. All in that whole area was nothing but people from all over the world from the
Wow.
boats, and so we have a whole lot of stuff that went on. Stacy, are you crying?
She's laughing.
She's
at it.
laughing.
Yeah, she is. One of the things I do miss this time of year is that I can't access going into my favorite cemeteries as easily as I used to.
Because the city locks down.
Yes.
Well, because people go in there and do stupid things. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
Let's talk about
Let's
that.
get on the soapbox.
Let's get on the soapbox. So, folks, please, I beg you, if you go to, this is why they lock cemeteries, but if you go to a cemetery or you go to any sacred land, even Chalmette Battlefield, or you go to like the Mayan ruins, or you go to some ruins, or you go to any
Respect.
place,
Yes.
do not put anything in your pocket, not even no rock, no flower, nothing from a grave, nothing. Never take anything out of a cemetery because you have just brought yourself a whole lot of bad luck if you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing we do know, one thing we do know is that there are guardians of these sacred lands, and they're not evil spirits, but they're there for protection of what is there.
So, funny story of that, guardians. Well, not maybe funny story. I thought it was endearing. I love cats. That's one of my favorite things in the world. I will always advocate for the cats. When I first moved here, and that was before St. Louis #1 was shut down, and I lived right around the corner from there, and I used to love and go there, and I would visit the Italianite Memorial and say hi to my people. I would always be greeted by a little black cat that would wander and follow me around throughout the entire cemetery. And I liked that. I found actually a great comfort in that. And I realized too that that was my familiar, and that's one of my son, or that's one of the guardians there.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, don't take nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, never do that. Never take nothing from a cemetery because you will get heaven. I'm telling you. One poor guy, and we warned him, and he took some stuff, and this guy started losing his teeth. He started getting sick. Yep.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and we warned him.
Mm-hmm. House burned down. Yep. Dogs died. Yep.
Telling you, don't do it. If it's good to take, what I usually tell people is if you have a little bit of wine with you, wine's always good to share to the ground because it's made from especially if you got an organic one, it's made from grapes, it's made from the earth, return it to the earth. Yeah, that's really good. Wine, anything that's natural is biodegradable, and prayer. Words are good and comforting. Those things are good. Lane, I took everybody to the battlefield when we have the psychic investigation class. We took everybody to the battlefield and let them roam and come back with a story of who they met, because the battlefields in Chalmette were not just battlefields, they were also a big trading area too. After the battlefields, they were a big trading area for a couple of big families in the Chalmette area, because there was a lot of farms in that area. So it was also a big trading ground. And so a lot of them met with the traders as well. So that was really cool, just to go learn the history and know that history. So that's really, really, really important.
Now, I didn't find Lane's point. I didn't find that one to be overwhelming. I usually have positive experiences with my supernatural experiences.
Now, the one you go to in Vicksburg is really powerful.
It is,
because you can even stay in the nearby hotels, and you can actually hear the cannons go off.
I do, yes. And but again, I don't know. I've not really ever been scared by it. I just kind of find it okay. They're still working through some stuff, and that's residual energy at that point.
Now, the one in New Orleans was actually the end. Was actually the war was over, if I'm not mistaken. When that war happened, that war was over.
Have you been to Gettysburg ever? Because I've heard that one is really strong.
I have, but that was a long time ago.
Okay. Maybe we should organize a field trip.
Well, actually, one of my friends has a prison, but it costs money to get into, and there's an insane asylum not far from it. So I'm trying to arrange where I can go to both of those.
Okay.
I've already been to one insane asylum. It's called the Crescent Hotel. Which,
okay. I thought you were gonna make a joke.
No, really, no. The Crescent. I used to have a ghost hunting group called. Okay, don't make fun. I talked about something. I used to have, and when I lived in Dallas, I had a paranormal group called A Paranormal Nuts, and
that's cute.
Wasn't it cute?
It is cute. I like it.
And we did a bunch of cool stuff together. We did a bunch of investigations together, and we went. One of the things a few people from the group did, we went to in Arkansas. There's a hotel in northern Arkansas called the Crescent, and it used to be a cancer hospital where this guy was just killing all these innocent people with all these fake cures,
snake oil, yeah.
And then it became like an insane asylum and stuff. And so we did the ghost tour and all that, and got to learn the history. And I actually got some some stuff from it and some souvenirs from it in a cabinet in there. And it was a lot of fun. And then we went down to Hot Springs and we spent time there. We did some crystal digging, and then we went and did went to this Italian restaurant, and we were talking about table tip, and there's like 12 mediums, and we're sitting at this huge round table, and we started talking about table tip again. Our waiter's like, "Oh, that's not real. Y'all don't make tables move." And I looked at him. I said, "You want to bet?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." If we sing and make this table move, you'll buy our dinner. He said, "Yeah." We started singing. That table started moving. He freaked out. The owner come running out of the kitchen. He started screaming, "Demons, demons!" Like, no, we're praying. We are not demons. This is very spiritual.
Interesting how that was where his mind went right away. Was that it had to be a negative thing.
And he explained it. He apologized to us, and then he explained to us that the reason why he got nervous was because before he came to America, he was from Italy. He went to see a woman in Italy, and she told him about him coming to America, that he would find the restaurant, that he would do really well. And he did. And he went back to Italy to see it. They told him that she had never existed. And so he felt that she was some kind of like demon or something, because it was like, I said, "No, she was an angel. Your business is doing well, right?" I said, "So why are you saying that's a demon?" I said, "If you weren't doing good," I said, "then I would say then
maybe it was a negative
experience." I said, "But your business because my business is doing well." I said, "Then why would you call her a demon?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, "She was your encouragement. She was the one that gave you hope."
That was kind of you.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So I think a lot.
But all in all, they still didn't pay for our dinner.
I was gonna
after all
that
of
was,
that.
was
But
be my
5
next
years later,
question.
one of the mediums went back and they remembered her.
Of course, they probably have y'all's picture on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, do not let them sit at a table.
Yeah. So that was really, really, really cool. And so, and although, like I said, since I've had two of my friends pass away, I have not table tips really since then. I've watched other people table tip, but I've kind of given it up since then. I have people trying to get me to do it again, but I've not really have table tips since two of my friends have passed.
I would like you to teach me how to table tip, I think.
See what that says. Yes, because so if you understand where mediumship comes from, you don't have to believe in the higher power, but you do have to believe in the spirit world, because you're talking to dead people. So how do you think you're talking to dead people? You know what I mean, Lane? Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think you have to believe necessarily that there's a higher power, but you have to believe in some form of life after death, or how are you talking to dead people? Because the reason I say that is because sometimes as a medium, you're going to give information that the person you're reading doesn't know. So you're not reading their psychic. You're not reading them psychically. So a psychic can read you as a medium and give you information that you know. But a medium can also give you information that you don't know, and it's brought to you. So that would mean you're connecting to the spirit realm. And so if that's it, you'd have to at least believe in the spirit realm, because really, truly, spiritualism defines mediums and defines mediumship. So you'd have to at least believe in the religious. You don't have to believe in the religion of spiritualism, but you would have to at least believe that spirits exist, because that's what defines mediums and mediumship. Does that make sense? You don't have to practice spiritualism, because spiritualism is not just a religion; it's also a philosophy. It's also it's also a philosophy. It's not just a religion.
I would say now.
The atheists believe in an afterlife. It depends on their concept.
Most that I found don't, because
most
that
of them
kind of
don't.
defeats the whole
purpose. Yeah, because they think when you die, you die.
They don't believe in anything, which is
unless they believe it in form as like when the shell goes, you go to a different dimension, like maybe a time thing.
Yeah,
but I think most don't.
Most atheists don't.
Yeah,
from my experience, it's just been very
Because I know a scientist, and I'm not going to mention the name because I don't want to confuse their work. But I believe the scientist believes that there is an alien component in there that when the energy transfers from one location to the other, that it becomes brought into that alien realm, and the scientist actually is able to produce those aliens. And so there's some alien belief there. Now, do I believe that completely at this point? I haven't seen enough evidence yet.
I think that
Okay.
might scare me.
Right. I haven't seen
Aliens.
enough evidence of that yet.
Mhm.
Do I say it doesn't exist? No, because I don't have enough evidence to deny it or agree with it. But I don't look. I'm the type of person. I walk straight down the middle till I see evidence one way or the other. I don't
Well, I
agree
think
or
it's
disagree.
I think it's important to be a skeptic, and
Right.
you and I are both very skeptical.
Right.
And yeah, again, if you don't believe in something or prove it, not prove
Right.
it, but you know what I mean.
Well, is that changing with science? Well, I know because I don't think energy does die. So I truly believe that energy doesn't die.
Hence why we're still hearing cannons on battlefields
Fields
200 years
years
later,
later.
is there's that residual because there was so much that happened in one space in a short time frame.
Right. And why things are still like why mediums can still connect to the energy through someone else is
Mhm.
because they're sensitive to that energy, but also they're able to see things that the sitter doesn't know, so they're not tapping into the psyche of the sitter.
Okay, so here's an interesting, well, I think it's an interesting question
Which you think is-
that just came to me. So I know a lot of people that like to do ghost hunting, they will not go to asylums or asylum hospitals because they have the mindset they don't want to deal with crazy spirits. Now,
I agree with
do
that.
you-
I understand people that don't do that kind of. If they're really sensitive.
if they're
oversensitive.
sensitive, but do you think though that because that's a condition that affected them while they were existing in their human body,
Right.
so once they've possibly passed, do you think that maybe they are no longer struggling with a mental health struggle?
Yeah, so understand that. So just because you go into a mental hospital, are you dealing with the soul of a person, or are you just dealing with the residual energy that's still there? Think
Yeah.
about that.
It's
So
so maybe somebody that
now, if you and me, so if we go with a group of people to a mental hospital, and I'm
Mhm.
doing a mediumship gallery at the mental hospital, I'm reading the people's soul people that are there. I'm not connecting to the residual energy that's there. Can I connect to it? Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, I can. you
it's
know.
who sometimes and sometimes you can choose who you want to talk with
Right.
more than others, and the loud person in the room. It's like if you're teaching Sunday school, give me a moment, Rachel, I'll be with you in a
Give me a
second.
second,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And that's how that works. And as a former pastor, I no longer believe in the God of the Bible, but I do believe in the higher power of energy.
Same.
So they're the same. So when you the thing is, and Lane, I just want you to understand this. And being a pastor, maybe this will help you. So, they for people to understand for religion to be controlling. Oh, did I say that? But they make God to be human, and you got to remember God's not human. So, God's not human. So, and when I tell people this, they really look like I'm crazy with I think the one group that had the closest concept of God, of what really God is probably the Mayans.
Okay.
Because they thought God was the sun, is energy. So
That's okay. I
so-
thought you were gonna go like Hindu. Or,
No,
or
I fooled
Buddha,
you,
but-
didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I
you
fooled
did.
you,
But
didn't
no,
I?
I like that.
So I mean,
I yeah.
Because why? Because that is what gives everything life here on earth, and that's what
the commercialism of God and Jesus.
It's very humanistic.
It's very humanistic, and it's been very successful because I think everyone alive today has grown up. If they're like, draw a picture of God or Jesus, it's going to be a white man with long brown hair, a beard, a mustache, and he's going to be wearing a white robe.
Right. It's
yeah.
Again, that's not what it's going to be.
Exactly, but that's
They
have
even Jesus is
commercialized
not
and
gonna-
marketed. They have marketed this
exactly.
very well.
And so I tell people, it's like, and this is the concept I think they missed. Lane, and this is what I need to see. Every person on earth, and I'm gonna hi Daphne, and then I'm gonna leave this alone because I don't want it to. I want to be more about Halloween and the energy and the fun. So every person on earth is an extension of God. We're all made in God's image because we're all creatures of energy. Every person. That's why we're all brothers and sisters. We're all human. We're all human, every one of us. And that's why we should love all of our brothers and sisters, no matter who they are, no matter where they come from, no matter who they sleep with, no matter what they do, as long as they don't do anything to hurt you or harm you.
Mm-hmm. If you can't help, don't hurt.
Right.
It's very simple.
Right. You know, we're all creatures of God, and we're all made in God's image.
Now back to spooky places.
Now back to spooky places.
Spooky
and yes, there
places.
are some evil ones, Denise, we know, but again, that's for the law to take care of. That's for the
Exactly.
law.
And we do not do that.
And we do not do that. Because we come from a place of love.
I would be
Yes.
ridiculous as a cop. I would wear like a little zip up onesie if I was trying to enforce the law.
And a little headband.
A little headband. Yeah, it's like, you're not supposed to
So
do
see
that.
it, Daphne. Look, Daphne can tell you. We saw this guy in a restaurant in Chalmette. You would have probably fallen in love. You definitely would have fallen in love. Like if I almost took a photo, but I would have probably gotten beat up. And everything about him was really good until he got up and turned around.
You saw the energy.
No,
Oh.
he had a hunting knife strapped to his back,
Geez.
and I was like, "Oh no, is he a serial killer?" No.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was
Well,
like,
that's why you gotta
I
look
need to
for
go
it.
get his number for my friend. Hi, Daphne. Didn't I say that?
We're not doing that anymore.
I said-
We're trying to.
I need to get his number for my friend because she would like him
You're
because
cute.
he was just your type.
You're cute.
He was just your type.
Well,
I was thinking about you.
I appreciate that.
Look at Daphne. Look. Yes, indeed. See? Look, and then Allie sat down, and then she had her back to him. And I went down to him and said, Daphne, you need to sit right here. So she can see. She's like, oh, I see that. And I was like,
That's funny.
that was fun. Look, still don't understand why he had that knife there. I
Yeah,
was
probably
like,
because he was gonna go kill a deer and then
I don't
use it
know.
as a profile picture.
I
Because
don't
that's
know.
the thing in this state. I know.
I don't know.
Sometimes
but I was thinking about
that's,
you.
and I'm glad that you
I was
just thought.
thinking about
I'm
you.
glad that's all it was a thought, and that we didn't take it any
I
further.
know. I was trying. I was trying
appreciate it.
to do some good for
We're
you.
we're doing just fine.
But anyway. So
Anyway, so back to our haunted places.
So back to haunted places.
Yes. So, I worked for a long time at Pirates Alley.
You did, and that's a very haunted place.
That's a very haunted place.
Especially going up and down that alley, like the fog sits like only at a certain level. You
Loved
notice
it.
that?
Oh, yes.
It never gets like to a certain point. It never goes in. Did you know that it's in the alley
So
there?
many, because I was there for years. There would be a lot of chilly December days that I would turn on the fireplace and I would grab the chair and I would bring a book with me.
Uh-huh.
And it would be early mornings, Fridays, Saturdays, and there would be nobody out. And I would see the fog just at that level. And it was wonderful because it felt like just a time slip again. That it could have been 1790 very easily, 1800s very early.
A great place to film Jack the Ripper.
Great place.
Yes.
But I would have friends. I had a friend I remember one day that came in, it was like toward the end of my shift, and how he remembered seeing somebody and that they just disappeared in the fog.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And it was a very, could I use the word piratal? Can I create a word?
You can create a word. Why not?
Pirate-like, piratal. It was a very pirate-like description of the person, swarthy, boots, hat, and then they just disappear in the mist in the alley, which is lovely.
See a lot of ghosts in those mists.
Yeah.
Because like I said, my friends used to have that apartment right there in the Pintaba where Ginny Lynn was, and I spent many times there, and the fog just hits just right, and it's coming up that alley, and then you're right there, and it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. I spent lots of time there in Jackson Square.
My favorite, I will tell a ghost story now.
Go ahead.
So, and this will be great for anyone listening if they've ever worked serving in restaurants or bars. Years ago, they did not have security working there, and the girls, because they only hired female bartenders, we used to joke that it was essentially like the movie Sin City, where it was just the girls on their own managing everything. And it was late one night, I think it was like a Thursday, because it was slow, it was quiet in the city. It was maybe like 1:30 in the morning, and a man walks into the bar, and it sounds like a joke, but it's not. He says, I'm going to try, he slams his hand on the bar. He says, I'm going to try every absinthe in this place. And there were 4 absinthes at the time. I want to get going. I'm tired. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for his absinthe journey. So I pour him 1 absinthe, and I notice he keeps looking up the back area where the bathrooms is. How there's like a little alcove above, and he keeps looking up in the area. And after a while, I'm like, what you looking at over there? What's going on? He says, I don't like the way that man's looking at me. I said, oh, really? You don't, huh? What does he look like? And he said he has long, dark hair. And I said, does he have a mustache too and dark eyes? He said, yes. And I said, well, we often hear that's what our ghost looks like. So if he's looking at you like that, it's probably because he wants you to leave.
Ah.
So the man, or I guess the ghost perhaps urged him along too. He paid for his drink, and then he got out of there pretty fast. And then I poured a drink for a shot for the ghost. We had a little area where we would leave that for him, and bid adieu and went home.
The next day to be gone?
Not really.
All right.
Sometimes, but
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Sure, that was my first thought of deer. So anyway, let me see if I got any. I got plenty of ghost
Oh, I
stories.
know you
Good
do.
Lord. So I mean, God, I got so many. When I was little, I once broke the windows out of a house to let the ghost out of a house that I saw stuck in a house, and I got in a lot of trouble for it.
I can imagine,
Yeah.
especially when you tried to explain why you
Yes.
did that.
Yeah, they really had ghosts in the house.
Where was this?
Right down the street from us. I didn't have. Look, I did it right broad daylight in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just saw him, and I gotta let him out. Took a baseball bat.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I was about 8 years old.
You were determined.
Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble for that one.
Yeah.
Got my butt beat good. My dad waited till I was in the bathtub and I was wet.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the one. My dad hardly ever gave me a whooping, but I deserved that one. I guess because they didn't know I could see ghosts. They got out.
I mean, that's okay.
I took a whooping for the ghosts.
So that's a good
That was
question.
the
You
true
didn't.
story.
Okay, they just left the house then, or like
I
okay,
felt like
they
they
wanted to get out.
They wanted to get out.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they could have just walked out the door.
Okay, how about hotel ghosts? Have you done any investigations?
Well,
at
yeah, I
hotels?
told you I did the haunted hotel. I've
like,
had ghosts. I did the Crescent Hotel.
Okay.
I've done so I got pictures somewhere here where when we visited a little town called Jefferson, Texas, which is a ghost town.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there on the other side of the right off of LA 20 between Shreveport and Dallas, but it's actually real close to Shreveport. It's right over to Louisiana Texas line in Texas, and it's a little bed and breakfast town. The river used to go by there, the Sabine, but it dried up, and because it dried up, that's why it became a ghost town, because it used to be a logging town. And so the slaves they killed them all, and so it's a lot of strange stuff. But it has like an old general store, and it's a lot of bed and breakfasts, and there's a lot of ghosts there. And actually, there's a ghost tour they take through the town, and you get to hear the history of it, which is really cool. One of my favorite pictures, and I got a picture of this. It's actually the title page of my ghost hunting class that I teach. But in the cemetery there's a little grave of a little newborn baby that's in front of a tree. But when you look at the tree, the baby's head is sticking out the tree. And if you go to the back of the tree, his ass is on the back of the tree. The tree grew the baby's head and the baby's ass. It's quite cute. Did I ever show you that?
You told me about it.
I got pictures. I can show you the pictures.
You did.
You can see the baby's head and the baby's behind coming out of the tree. the tree, like the babies, looked like his life got sucked up into the tree. The tree spit out his head and his behind, on the head on the front of the tree and his behind
Yeah, I've never
in the
seen
back of
anything
the
like
tree.
that.
You know, it's
and-
it's amazing. And then we were on the ghost hunting tour, and I'm trying to be nonchalant, right? And so we get to we're on the tour, and the lady who goes, "Anybody can guess what happened here?" And of course, the people, I'm like, "Well, he's a medium. He can tell you." You know,
She outed you.
bitches.
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
like,
And then she's probably like, "Do you want to do the tour? I bet you think you could
She's
do."
like, "But can you tell us what happened here?" I said, "Yeah, that man that lived right there killed his wife, and I got a window. You can see the man in the window. I got a picture of it. I got a picture of the ghost in the window."
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then we were once in another tour, a ghost tour in Casadega, and we went by a ferry garden, and Magni actually has a picture of a ferry. We got a picture of a ferry. So you can actually see the little body and the little wings.
Yes.
So we
yes.
actually got a picture of that. So we've been really fortunate. We got some cool pictures.
I don't know if I just haven't been photographing lately or looking. I don't know. I used to get more pictures. I went to this house in Vicksburg.
Guess where Magni is tonight?
Where?
Guess who he's staying with tonight?
Where?
Priscilla and Elvis. He's in Graceland right now.
Priscilla's.
Tonight he's sleeping in Graceland tonight.
I wanna
That's
go
where the
visit.
airline put him up.
It's so expensive
Well,
to
the
tour Graceland anymore.
The
Yes.
airline put him up in Graceland tonight.
I love that. Good for him. He's having fun.
No, he's sleeping. Oh, he might be online listening.
I
'Cause he's-
haven't seen him
No,
chime
he
in
told
yet.
me he was going to listen.
But yeah, I did similar to you. I did this tour of this house because I love history, and it had a cannon still, a cannonball still embedded in the house from the Civil War. And so this girl was so cute. She didn't break from character once the entire time she was showing me around the house. And she's, "What brings you? What do you like history?" Yes. "Oh, why do you want to see like the spooky side of this house?" I said, "I'm a medium. I just want to see like what I'm feeling, what I see, and that kind of thing." I've never heard that response before.
I just logged on.
Yes.
Yes, Maggie, aren't you in Graceland, huh? He's in Graceland. That's what he mean in Graceland.
So we went up to.
He is not a fan of Elvis. He doesn't know Elvis. He's from Norway.
That's true.
He
That's
doesn't know
true.
Elvis like everybody else knows Elvis.
But we went up to this
You
one.
heard who
room.
died, huh?
Yes.
The guy from One
One
Direction.
Direction,
Yeah,
yeah.
fell out of a hotel in Buenos Aires. Fell out of a window.
Yeah. That was
Tragic.
Yeah,
Liam
sad.
something. I don't know.
I did
them all.
like One Direction. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know them. I like boy bands in general because I have bad taste in music, but I do love Elvis. So that would be a fun tour too.
So well, I do have a friend, and I don't know how many people she's gonna let me bring to her house. Probably just me and Trenny. But she's like, "You millennial, you."
I am the oldest millennial.
So Trini and I have a friend, and she's a client who just bought a house that has a lot of history. So I don't know if she'll let me bring anybody, but I know she'll let me and Trini go. But I'm gonna see if she'll let me. Might bring a couple of people with me to go do a ghost thing at her house. But she owns if you look it up, it's in the history books. She owns the house of 100 stairs, and it's stairs that just lead to nowhere. And the house has tons and tons and tons of history. It's on the East Coast.
You mentioned this one, yeah.
So yeah, so
That would be neat.
that's
to
going to be
see.
a lot of fun.
Yes.
So the house of 100 stairs. So I'll have to see if she'll let us bring some people, bring a couple people with us, and we'll go do an investigation at her home. She actually wants that.
Yeah.
And Trini does a lot of ghost hunting too. So
That would be neat to do like a live podcast.
oh yeah, from that location.
That's yeah.
We plan on it.
Okay. I'm there for that.
Yeah, so I got to see if she'll let me bring people with me. But
I think we need to dress Magni up in an Elvis suit.
no, he would not.
I couldn't.
Do not do that. Do not do that.
Do not do that to my Magni.
No, that's not Maggie, no. So that's something that we're going to be doing in the future. Like I said, and I also have a prison and a very one of the old insane, but it costs a lot of money to go in these places. I got to raise the money to go into these places.
I could go fund me.
Right, yeah.
for
Well, it's
investigation.
going to be a group that's going to go, so
Okay.
we're gonna have to raise money to go because it's like probably about $3,000 to spend.
Well,
on
I mean,
each of these
people do that for like their kids' softball teams.
Right.
So why can't we do that
Right.
for our ghost hunting expeditions.
But we're gonna go spend the night in the prison and in the insane asylum. It's a
Okay.
few thousand each.
To do it, yeah.
So and you got to spend the entire night in them.
yeah. Okay. So we just need
They're very haunted.
we just need to find a sponsor.
And Trini
then, is
has
what I'm
places
hearing.
in Colorado, like she says, where things move when you walk in and stuff. They follow you, like the brooms will follow you down the hall and stuff. So
You
that
don't
would be
even
cool.
need to go to a haunted house
I know.
like the fake ones this time of year.
No.
No.
So, anybody else want us to? Anybody have any questions for us before we start getting ready to log off? Since we're getting close to the 9 o'clock hour. So, any questions for us about ghost or ghost hunting? Any questions? Okay, well, I think we're getting ready to log off soon.
Yes.
So I wanted to wind down with just a little note that Trini and I will be at the battlefield doing a mediumship demonstration on the 25th of October, starting at 6:30. Tickets are on my website for $40 a person, and that'll be coming your favorite Halloween costume. Would be great. Unfortunately, I'll be working that day, so I'll be dressed as a nurse when I come, because I have to work that day until it's time to get there.
You could do the blood spatter nurse
Yeah,
costume.
the blood spatter nurse. It might be that way.
How they have the
Yeah,
uh
I might have.
the spirit Halloween.
Yeah, I might have a few.
How they have like a
spatters on there.
suggestive name tag that you could put on.
We are going. So yes, and so we are going to some haunted houses probably on Sunday.
I want to go to the mortuary.
We're going to go. We're going to definitely go to the one that's in Hammond,
Hmm.
because that's the one we didn't go to last year.
Which one is that? I don't know about that.
It's a really good. We're going to go to in Hammond, so we missed that one, and I don't know if we're going to go to one in Baton Rouge or we can go to one out here. We went to the
Oh, the
mortuary
13,
last year, but
yeah.
we went to the 13 Gate last year.
That's in Baton Rouge, yeah.
Yes.
I just like the mortuary in general because it's
Well,
a beautiful
It-
place.
that one kind of like my grandma was buried there. You know, my
Yeah.
grandmother's funeral was there, so it was.
Yeah.
I've been to that one a couple of times. It's okay. It's just it's short.
It
I like
is
going to the
short.
longer ones.
Yeah, where you feel like you get more of your
Right. If
money's
I'm going to
worth,
spend
but-
$50, I want to go because I usually go VIP. But when you do, you usually get passes to all of them.
Mhm.
So it just depends how they do it this year. We'll see. You know,
You're very VIP.
I'm very VIP. I'm very VIP. Oh, you just don't know. And that the 13th gate, thank God we went via, because that lawn was about a mile long to get in. It was horrendous.
Yeah, I waited a really long time for House of Shock.
Right.
Or no, they changed it.
It's
I
a
think
new name.
New Orleans Nightmare or
Mares,
something.
yeah.
Which that's
I VIP that one too.
okay. Yeah, I should do that.
Yeah, we VIP them. I don't wait in the long lines. And then did you do the after event?
No, what was that?
Oh, then let me tell you my after event story. Magni cut this out. There's only 5 people watching, so I can't. So we go in to see. It's an event where it's a sense event where they blindfold you and you go through and they squirt you with they sneeze and they squirt you with a squirt bottle and you gotta put your hands on this kind of gross stuff. Somebody started playing with my boobs.
Oh my god.
Oh, I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Oh.
I was like, really? Do I know your name? Did you put your phone number in my pocket? I told him that.
All right. Well, did it? Yeah.
I was like, do I know you? Should we know each other? You know? Magni was with me too. Last year we went out,
God.
Magni. That's the one we want to go to, the Rise. Yes,
Rise,
that's the
yeah.
one, the Rise. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Gwen. That's the one we're going to
You
go to.
probably handled that better than I did. If somebody would have been playing with my boobs,
Yep.
I probably wouldn't have handled it with the same grace.
Oh, we can't rape the will and shit. You know, like,
Maybe
at my-
I'm not going to go with you to the haunted
at
house.
my age, come on, at my age, I'm like, oh, can't rape the will. I'm like, oh. Anyway, so guys, have fun, be safe. We love you. We'll be back on next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Look forward to seeing you.
Have a good evening and happy ghost hunting.
Yes, happy ghost hunting. We'll come with more ghost stories next week. Happy Halloween, folks. Don't y'all love the cold weather in New Orleans? Isn't it cool outside? When you want to go to that, we're going to try to go Sunday night, the 26th. See y'all later. Bye.